This video is brought to you by Titan Mattress. Summer is once again upon us, and I warned you it was coming back and you didn't believe me. But it's okay, you can make up for it by getting a great mattress that offers great support. Now what does one have to do with another? Oh look everyone, it's Titan Mattress. They'll know what to do. Now Titan specializes in making quality mattresses for plus size individuals like me, which is good because sleep is very important to me, and I think getting a good mattress that'll last you a while is a crucial life investment. And with Titan, you don't gotta waste time going to a mattress emporium or any of that. You order these online and they're shipped to your house, safe and sound in a secure box. Just make sure you got a buddy to help you carry the thing to the room. It's still a mattress at the end of the day. But installing it is as simple as pie and pretty fun. Once you remove the wrapping, it expands like magic. As I said before, I've had my Titan mattress for well over 2 years at this point, and it is sincerely one of the best mattresses I've ever slept on. You know, as someone who works from home, if I don't get a good night's sleep, I ain't getting anything done for the day. But my Titan mattress has offered me wonderful comfortability and back support for myself and my partner. I loved it so much I even got one for my parents, not just to replace the crusty ass mattress that Steve should have gotten rid of years ago. Yeah, keep smiling for the camera, you bum. But no, it's also because I strongly believe Titan makes some damn good mattresses. With Titan, you know you're getting quality and affordability. They're backed by master craftsmen who've been building mattresses for over 30 years. They're rigorously tested to ensure durability, and since they're designed, assembled, and shipped from their Arizona factory, they can use premium materials at a reasonable price to you. And if you live in the United States, you get free shipping. Plus, if you're on the fence, Titan does come with a 120-night sleep trial and a limited lifetime warranty to give you peace of mind with your purchase. So visit titanmattress.com/somecallmejohnny to get 30% off your order with code Somecallmejohnny. Once more, that's titanmattress.com/somecallmejohnny to get 30% off your order with code Somecallmejohnny. You can also scan the QR code you see on the screen there to get started from your phone. Thanks to Titan for sponsoring this video, and thank you as always for helping support this channel. Now let's continue on with the show. Jesus Christ, I can't remember the last time I've seen a man so wired to explode if I so much as winked at him. So as I learned in the comments section of the last video, a lot of people really liked Wario Land. Whether it was the puzzle-focused variety or the more straightforward romp, Wario Land has something for everybody. The thing is that the Wario Land series has taken a tremendous backseat over the past 18 years. The last Wario Land game released was the 2008 Wario Land Shake It for the Nintendo Wii. Since then, well, I hope you're a fan of the WarioWare games. Those still see releases to this day. And I love WarioWare for sure, but you know, these are two completely different series. Folks have yearned for a new Wario Land game for years, but Nintendo hasn't done much about it outside of re-releasing the old stuff over the years. So when that's the case, it's usually up to fans of the series to make their own version of Wario Land to fill the void. But I don't want to immediately reduce these next few games as just Wario Land, but no, at the end of the day, these games are quite distinct from their inspiration. What I'm here to find out is if they're any good. And first up today is Pizza Tower, created by Tour de Pizza, led by lead designer McPig. So I have sampled this game before. It was during a Sonic Amateur Gaming Expo, 2018-2019. I don't remember exactly when, but I played it at the request of reviewers because they thought I might enjoy it. And from what I recall, I liked the gameplay, but I was more enthralled by the unhinged character design and animation. Pizza Tower's aesthetic is very 90s coded, a day and age where it seemed like every studio had their share of edgy cartoons filled with exaggerated expression, grotesque visuals, and more adult-leaning humor that sometimes made you think, wait, is this a kid's show? I'm actually going to start with the presentation since it's one of the most prolific things about Pizza Tower. Like from top to bottom, this game's aesthetic is exploding with personality and crammed with so many visual gags that it's impossible to keep track of all at once, but at the same time, it doesn't feel busy. It isn't distracting. You probably won't be paying much attention to it once you get a feel for the game and start scrambling your way through every stage, but the level of detail is readily apparent no matter what, and I wanted to take some time to acknowledge that. I especially love how every level's title card looks like the start of an episode from a 90s cartoon. The soundtrack was love at first listen to, and I knew I was going to be in for a good time as early as the file select music. Pizza Tower's soundtrack is equal parts frantic, it's energetic, it's goofy, and most importantly, it's funky as fuck with vocal samples used at just the right moments to really sell the sizzle. It emboldens a game that is already the definition of kinetic, but let's break things down properly. In Pizza Tower, you're in control of Peppino Spaghetti, owner of Peppino Pizza, that finds himself in a bind thanks to accumulating a massive debt, and his store on the verge of being wiped from existence thanks to Pizza Face here, threatening to blow up his establishment with a giant laser located at the top of his headquarters, the Pizza Tower. Not wanting to lose his store, Peppino, along with I think it's his associate Gustavo, at least I think they're associates, or is Gustavo someone Peppino just picked up along the way? Anyway, they make their way to the Pizza Tower to fuck shit up and send Pizza Face packing, which, you know, Peppino's gotta show Pizza Face not to fuck around with him, but that ain't gonna do shit about the debt, my guy. Pizza Tower is essentially what happens when you take Wario Land 4, but the tap water's been laced with meth. And I feel that's saying something considering Wario Land 4 was already knee deep in that molly, you get me? It's a very similar gameplay loop. As Peppino, your job is to head into every stage and collect pizza toppings locked up in cages spread through the level. Then when you're good to go, you break down one of these giant support pillars which triggers pizza time, meaning you now got a limited time to haul your ass back to the start and escape before Pizza Face chases you down and ends your life. I think he does anyway. I never let the timer reach 0. I should probably look that up. Oh, okay. The titular Pizza Tower is broken up into 5 floors with 4 stages apiece and a boss encounter, but the boss fight can only be unlocked by paying this dude enough money to open the gate, and you get money by collecting pizza toppings. So this means you can't be lazy with the toppings, you do need to find enough of them to get to the next area. However, the toppings aren't as strict as the jewels from Wario Land 4. Unless you're going for full completion, Pizza Tower gives you more toppings than needed, so you can afford to miss a topping here and there, just don't make it a habit. You know, I personally don't put pineapple on my pizza, it's not really my thing, but it's a topping, it counts. Collect the fucking pineapple. You'd never guess just by looking at him, or maybe you can, he does always look like he's about to crush coal into diamonds with his sphincter. Peppino is quite the athletic fuck. Running and jumping just ain't enough for this guy. This dude can throw enemies high and low, he can uppercut them, which also kind of acts as a second jump, he can crawl through tight passageways as a little ball, he can dive bomb, he can belly flop through shit. Hell, if you grab an enemy in midair, you can pile driver their ass through the ground. And God, I love doing that. His best known trait though is his unrelenting speed, and I mean Peppino makes Wario look like Mario, he moves so goddamn fast. And with that speed, he can not only harmlessly crash through most enemies, metal blocks, and other stage hazards, but he can dash up walls, he can super jump like Samus's Shine Spark in Metroid. He's a damn force of nature, and will only stop when there's nowhere else to run to. Death comes for us all eventually, Peppino. Not that Peppino needs to worry about dying anytime soon, because the dude is basically immortal. There's no live system in this game, and Peppino doesn't have a health bar. Your only real punishment for getting hurt or falling down the occasional bottomless pit is losing a bit of time and points being deducted from your total score. But if you don't really care about your rank, even this is arguably not a big deal. It really does feel like Pizza Tower's philosophy was, let's take all the best bits of Wario Land and trim out the slow, awkward shit. Like in several stages, Peppino will have access to different transformations. He can become an unstoppable knight, as in he literally can't stop once he hits the slope. He can become a bad time at a Buffalo Wild Wings, a pizza box that flaps in the night. He can have a rocket jammed up his ass, get stuck in a barrel, become a flying ghost when he eats a pepper. A ghost pepper, I just got that shit. He could ride a giant sausage, eat a pizza from Satan, and become fucking invincible and get infinite airtime. God damn it, the man even gets a gun. Like no ifs, ands, or buts, he just gets a fucking shotgun to blast things out of the sky. These transformations function differently enough, but most of them don't slow the gameplay down in the slightest, making them feel less of a nuisance as some of the more frustrating Wario Land transformations were. I mean, even the game's throwback to Zombie Wario, Sticky Cheese Peppino, can still jump and climb up walls. So yeah, like this game's transformations are all pretty damn fun to use. Is that fucking Mort the Chicken? Why? So for context, Mort the Chicken is from a deeply forgettable PlayStation 1 game called, well, Mort the Chicken. And believe it or not, it was created by Ed Annunziata, the creator of Echo the Dolphin. I assume Torte Pizza were a fan of this game? I mean, I remember it having some decent humor.
Free the cubes, or taste our vengeance. You have 24 hours.
We received this tape 23 hours and 50 minutes ago.
But the game itself was agonizingly boring. Maybe that was the gag. Still, Mort the Chicken has a power-up here. Isn't bad at all. He lets you double jump, and I love double jumps in platformers. So thank you, Mort the Chicken. Thank you, Mort the Chicken. Thank you, Mort the Chicken. Mort the Chicken. Mort the Chicken. Mort the Chicken. Thank you, Mort the Chicken. Mort the Chicken. Mort the Chicken. Mort the Chicken. Thank you, Mort the Chicken. This game is just a bullet train that only stops when you let go of the acceleration button. And the learning curve can be a bit much early on. You have everything you need from the get-go, and though the tutorial segments give you the basics, you'll soon learn there's a lot of other things Peppino can pull off, and you'll need to have proper technique to perform well enough in Pizza Tower to really rack up the combos and get a decent rank by the end of the stage. And God, that shit is not easy because of just how fucking fast the game can get. Pizza Tower tests your dexterity and spatial awareness like there's no tomorrow. Finding the toppings generally isn't asking for much, but every stage also has its share of secrets that are tucked deep within certain walls. Every stage also has a hidden treasure that you can only find by locating Jerome the janitor and taking him to the locked door to get it. It's basically how Wario Land 1 handled its treasure system. To be honest, locating secrets felt kind of counterintuitive to the game's design. Pizza Tower is a game that clearly wants you to go fast. It wants you to cause untold mayhem and chaos everywhere. So I felt the few times where the game required you to stop and smell the roses kind of weird. For instance, I didn't even realize the pizzerias in the Oregano Desert stage were buildings you can even enter. I thought they were just background objects like how a bunch of other things are in this game. It was only when I realized that I finished the stage with none of the toppings collected that I clearly missed something, and then I got the curiosity to give the buildings a shot. I also don't like how the game requires you to find all 3 secret rooms in a single run for it to count towards completion. You can't just go back and get the ones you missed, you always have to get them all in one take. And I'm like, I get it for the purpose of going for that perfect rank, which is something you can only get by getting everything in the stage without dropping your combo and doing a second lap during pizza time. But just for completionist's sake, I think you should be allowed to do it piecemeal. Completionists aren't always speedrunners or perfectionists, sometimes they just want to collect stuff. But seeing as, again, this is a game where you can't die and there are no lives, until you trigger pizza time and have to make a mad dash to the exit, you have all the time in the world to learn how to explore the level properly if you want, get the most out of Peppino's kit, and then use that knowledge to see how well you can do it all at once. I feel Pizza Tower's replayability banks on your commitment to memorization. If you want, you can just collect the pizza toppings, beat the boss at the floor, and then head to the next floor, lather, rinse, repeat until the credits roll. And for the record, that's what I did because I had enough fun just doing that, and I'm glad this game gave me that amount of freedom without being too condescending about it. But Pizza Tower is also a game where it wants you to learn the ins and outs of the game's mechanics to perform better, to go faster, and it doesn't pull punches. You're scolded for hurting Peppino too many times. The game mocks you for getting bad ranks. It's ultimately harmless shit in the end, but the mentality is clear. This is a game that wants you to get good, and completing it is not for the faint of heart. It could be damn tough. That said, I still had a great time with this one. I think my biggest hurdle was just trying to keep the insane level of speed going, and not even for like a higher rank or anything, it's just because I like doing it. And I have to stress that's something I deeply enjoy about Pizza Tower. It's just fun to play. Peppino can do so much either by himself or with the many forms he takes when the stage calls for it. And sometimes he isn't alone because his buddy Gustavo gets into action a couple of times too. And I do mean a couple of times because I think you only control him like twice. But still, along with his rat buddy named Brick, they can double jump, break through shit with Brick's fat ass. I love Gustavo's spinning lariat he does midair as a basic attack. Honestly, I wish I could play as Gustavo more. He was a lot of fun to mess around with. Shit, I just realized Brick is probably a play on Rick the hamster from Kirby. I'm so fucking stupid, man. When you beat the game, you can also play as the Noise. He's the third boss you face in the main game, and yeah, he's based off of the Noid, the Domino's Pizza mascot that I was sure died in a tragic house fire until he suddenly made a return as a playable character in the mobile-only Crash Bandicoot on the Run. Jesus Christ, the years during the pandemic were fucking weird. I didn't play much with the Noise. He's a bit of an insufferable asshole, and while I love this spinning drill technique for the sake of squeezing through tight areas while keeping the speed up, and as a basic attack, he can't run up walls. He can only bounce off of them so many times before he loses all momentum, making vertical ascension with him trickier to pull off than with Peppino, assuming you aren't using the super jump everywhere and cutting your momentum in half. On the flip side, boss fights are easier because he can shoot projectiles, and his horizontal game with his skateboard can be fucking crazy. I also like his girlfriend Noisette. She just looks happy to be there, and I wish I can genuinely give her a tip with the money I get. At the risk of sounding like an old man, my only sour point in my experience was the don't make a sound level in the final segment of the game. Aesthetically, it's great. It's basically a giant reference to Five Nights at Freddy's with killer animatronics hunting your ass down if you get spotted and let the timer reach 0. It even has genuine jump scares, and that's my problem. I get having the jump scares in retrospect, and one of them isn't even a jump scare, but an advertisement for Oktoberfest, which I found fucking hilarious. But fuck, I still wasn't expecting it, and that shit was loud. And to stress, I was wearing headphones while recording this, and I had the volume up because I was enjoying the sound design and the music. I know it's part of the joke, and the game up until this point didn't stray away from disturbing imagery because of its dark sense of humor, and for the record, I fucking love how the second half of the stage gives Peppino the gun power so you can just shoot these assholes in the face in a cathartic payoff. Hell yeah, I love Nicolas Cage and Willy's Wonderland too, but fuck man, my ears did legit hurt after playing this level, so maybe next time, a bit of a heads up on that loud screeching shit. But that's it though. Everything else I thought was pretty damn enjoyable. Pizza Tower uses Wario Land 4 to set a foundation and then sets the craziness up to 11 and has much better boss fights in my opinion. Like, I didn't hate any of these guys, even if you have to drain their health meters twice. I thought that was weird at first, but these battles are so fast moving that you barely notice that quirk at all. They perfectly serve the game's design. It's fast, it's frantic. You can see that just from Peppino's face. My god, someone get this man some fucking antidepressants, man. No, but seriously, I ended up really liking Peppino. He's so strung up from a bunch of shit out of his control, but still tries his best to save his restaurant. To me, like, he's just as lovable as Courage the Cowardly Dog. I liked all the characters here. Gustavo is such a chum despite not being playable for long. I love how he always has Peppino's back and how he becomes good friends with Brick the Rat despite their contentious beginnings. All the boss encounters are distinct and have their own quirks that make them memorable and legitimately disturbing at some points. There's not an ounce of dialogue outside of the hint pizzas who could be real assholes sometimes, but this is a game that doesn't need dialogue. Everyone's expressions and pantomiming are more than enough. Pizza Tower is clearly a game that was made with a lot of love, and it shows with this deranged art style, the fluid animation, the energetic soundtrack, and the tough as nails but rewarding gameplay loop that isn't too off-putting if you're just trying to finish the game, but ultimately satisfying to complete when you take the time to learn what makes Pizza Tower what it is. And it isn't terribly long either. My first playthrough took me just under 7 hours, and with the noise available after you finish the game, you have even more replayability with just him alone. I definitely think this game won't be for everyone. Like, personally, a part of me wonders if the game is too fast for its own good, you know, potentially limiting its appeal, but at the same time, the game is so fucking committed to it that sometimes you just gotta accept something for what it is and then go from there. Not every game is going to be for everyone, and that's perfectly fine, as long as it's within reasonability, like artistic integrity. At the very least, it won't cost you an arm and a leg. The game costs around 20 bucks normally, so during the next sale, you can probably get it for dirt cheap. I was pretty satisfied with this one, and I thank you guys for recommending it to me. But we're not done yet, because next time we're going to be looking at the second P in the Wario Land inspired pod. I'll see you guys next time with Anton Blast, and then afterwards we'll head back to Wario with Wario World and the GameCube, and then finally Wario Land Shake It for the Nintendo Wii. With all that said, thank you all for watching, stay safe out there, have yourselves a fantastic night, and take care. And as always, it is time to thank some lovely patrons that have been supporting this channel over at patreon.com/Somecallmejohnny. So let's continue where we left off. So shout outs to Jordan Priggan, Jordan624, Jorge Azuro, or is one of them George, Joseph Ritchie, Joshua Shaper, Joshua Andrews, Justin Colin Velez, Joy Alma, Julian Reviews, Jervis, Jerf Rockstar, Just a Guy Named Zaha, Jay Wolf, Comic Killer, Kari Renee Rose, Kate the Cat, Kay the Mad Witch, Caius, Kazu Foxfire, KD Nguyen, Keel, Keldio60, Kenneth Saul, Carol Bloodgrave, Kevin Tornetta, Khaled Al-Sumari, King Arthur, Knave, Crazy Man, Cutie Caitlin, Kyle McKillen, Kyle Showme, Lackwee, Lamarcus Garrett, Lance Akira, Lars Russell, Lassie Kroll Larson, Last Legend, Larmachi, Leaf Erickson, Leslie Molnar, Elfrith, okay, Lime, and finally for today, Lilypad6199. I'll see you guys for the Anton Blast video, which I'll get right to work on after Too Many Games 2026 wraps up in Oaks, Pennsylvania. I'll see you guys there, or I'll see you guys in the next video. Have a good night, everybody.